Hey, what up, though? Didn't see you there. It's your man D-Real, live and alert on the north side of the dirt. And we getting ready to dive deep into this week's comics. I can see it's only a few of y'all in here, so I'm gonna give y'all a few minutes to kind of huddle on up, pull on in. I got a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, man. It's gonna stretch out. You know what I mean? It's gonna stretch out, and yeah, it's gonna this deep dive is going to go well beyond this week's comics. Some of the stuff covered, maybe I should start letting y'all know so you can get excited about it before you get in here. Some of the things I'll be covering is crossovers. Yeah. Intercompany crossovers. There is a difference. Okay. Crossover can be anything. And within the restraints of that said universe. Case in point, I don't think there's ever been a crossover of Werewolf by Night and the Mighty Thor. At least I don't think there is. But that would be a crossover if Werewolf by Night had a regular book, and the story that went on in Werewolf by Night crosses over into the Mighty Thor. Whereas other crossovers are just one shots from different companies and different characters from different companies. Okay. So yeah. Soon as y'all get in, we can get in. And the sooner we get in, the sooner we can get out. Yeah, I mean? So I see it's about 5-6 y'all in here. I'm gonna give y'all a few more minutes to get your businesses in gear and get your bodies up in here, because I know I did enough advertising and marketing about this here. And it's something we're gonna be doing every Wednesday. So, set your notifications and make sure you got plans to pull up here Wednesday, 6:30 Pacific, 8:30 Central. That sounds like a TV show. Who is in here? Who is in the building? Who is in the building? Who is in the building? I see a couple people hiding, but y'all, you come out at your leisure. No shade. No shade. Just do you. And Nancy in the building. We got the Spider Man in the building. And we got Kamoyo King. What up? What up? President of the Black Panther fan group. All right. It's a couple more. Yeah. Okay. Again, at your leisure. I ain't in no, well, I'm kind of in a hurry, but I ain't in a hurry. You know what I mean? And here, while everybody trickles in, you guys that are in here, I could tell y'all the story of my day. Well, first of all, let me set the premise. I have been, and this ain't no shade, but maybe it is shade because I feel some kind of way about it. I have been a loyal, competent Verizon customer, me and my family, since about 2016, 2017, somewhere around that time. So 10 years almost. So my wife decides she wants to order us some phones online, and she orders the phones online. And in order to get everything straight and activated, you got to talk to customer support. If you ever been on the phone with customer support, you know how that go. You talking to somebody from the Philippines, you talking to somebody from Pakistan, you talking to basically you talking to somebody who, no fault of their own, English is not their first language, but they are endeavoring hard to sound like they have mastered the English language when they really have not. And it's a debacle. I mean, no shade on the ethnicity, all that. If your accent is just super thick, your accent is just super thick. I ain't got no problem with that. But if your accent is super thick, why are you trying to talk to people in the United States like they're gonna be picking up on what you're putting down? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We had to talk on the phone with these cats like 2-3 different times, and customer support got the order and things all shuffled up and mixed up because we had to send phones back, and the phones got sent back to the wrong center, and folks didn't get it, and now they like, hey, wait a minute, that must mean they paying full price for all 3 of these phones. No, we're not. At least not today. You know, you know what I'm saying? And proceeded to send me a bill for like $5,070, something like that, all together, fees and all that BS. So I'm like, y'all tripping. I'm gonna go in here to my local Verizon store, and I'm gonna get this sorted out. And so I'm in the Verizon store, and nobody know what's going on. You looking up stuff, and we think it's this, and blah blah blah. Okay. In the past 4 weeks, I have been to Verizon 4 times. How long does it take to solve the damn problem? You see what I'm saying? And it's like, my body language is very impatient. My body language, that 4th time, my body language, I'm just back and forth. I'm mumbling shit under my breath. And, I'm just like, man, he must. And you would think after dealing with them 3 times, they gonna get to the heart of what the problem is. Oh, we're still talking to. After the 4th time, I don't care who you're talking to. Solve the damn problem. You can't see why I'm impatient. You can't see why. Yesterday, I sat in there from like 3:30 to like damn near 7. And somebody might have talked to me like 2, maybe 3 times. Total. I got better effing things to do with my time than sit in Verizon all damn day. My time should be valuable to you too. It shouldn't just be valuable to me. I did. The man, come on, yo. The dude said to me at 7 when they about to close, well, we're still working on the problem. Oh, you still working on the problem. In the meantime, Verizon done shut off my phone under some false pretenses, because everybody been handling the case, and it got so screwed up. By the time it got back to me, it's like, okay, and we made a payment, because they tried to say we didn't make a payment. We made a payment, but you didn't tell me how much to pay. So I just paid what I normally pay. Oh, it ain't enough. Oh, your bill's supposed to be $460 for 2 months. I mean, I know it's supposed to be something, but, and I mean, maybe it is, maybe it ain't, but nobody told me that. And I made the payment. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, people still don't know what's going on. And when I tell them to get their shit together, sir, you don't have to curse. I've been sitting in this bitch 4 hours. Yes, I do have to curse. Have you fixed the problem or not? Well, no, not at this time, sir, but we'll save all that. Bye. I'll be back to bringing your phones in a couple days, whatever. Y'all have a nice day. And I'm out, went over to AT&T, got me a phone in like 45 minutes. Okay? That lesson I learned, don't order no phones. Be sitting in front of the people you getting your phones from. Because everybody I know that done got a phone through the mail said something, it was something, whether it was with the phone itself, the service, or the customer support. It was always something. And I should have known better. But it's like, hey, you know what? It was my wife. She was feeling whimsical. Oh, I'm going to surprise everybody. I'm going to give them some Galaxy Fold 7s, and everybody going to be walking around flammy and banging, and we was for a while. And then everything went left. But you know what? Y'all are not here to hear my woes. Y'all are here to hear my pros and my flows. So here it goes. Nah, you're not here to hear my pros either. Maybe some other time I will regale y'all with some poetic rhetoric. More bars. But not today. I got 4 books that I will be reviewing today, and a plethora of other books I will be touching on, referencing or talking about directly. And all the books I'm going to talk about or reference are in arm's reach of me right here in this little area that I have chose to call the media module, so to speak. But anyway, since ain't nobody up in here, might as well get it out the way first, right? Godzilla versus Kansas City. Now, 2024, for some strange reason, was the year of Godzilla. Okay, in 2025 too, but in 2024, we saw no less, I believe, than 10 different Godzilla versus or Godzilla and Kong versus books by DC. And like they always do, DC and Marvel bit the hell out of each other. So Marvel come back in 2025 like, oh, Godzilla? You doing Godzilla over there, esteemed competition? Well, hold my beer. And lo and behold, we get no less than the same from Marvel, and it's currently going. Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe. Godzilla versus Spider-Man. Godzilla versus Thor. Godzilla versus the Hulk. Godzilla versus everybody and their mama. I'm surprised Aunt May didn't come out to get a piece of the big lizard. But at the same time in 2024, IDW released 3, and then 1. Anyway, they released 4 one-shots involving Godzilla and certain cities around America. And as you can see up top, the series is called Godzilla versus America. The first story that kicked off, or the first comic, should I say, was Godzilla versus Boston. Then they had Godzilla versus LA. I might be getting them mixed up, but I got all the cities right. Godzilla versus LA. Then after Godzilla versus LA, they had Godzilla versus Chicago. And the last book in that series, Godzilla versus Kansas City. So, this Godzilla book consists of 4 separate stories by, I want to say 3 different artists. 3 different artists, because one story bleeds into the other, or should I say flows into the other. That's Aunt May, not me. That's Aunt May. That's Aunt May, dog. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Say Aunt May was too busy making wheat cakes. Yeah, she probably was. But anywho, the first story is by Buster Moody. Buster Moody is a young up-and-coming artist. I think he might be from Kansas City, but don't get me to lying. Also, I'm wearing my reunion shirt. Lincoln Academy Blue Tigers, the best school in the state. And I ain't just making a claim. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a phys act. But anyway, Buster Moody. Basically, we got 2 graffiti artists. They doing graffiti in downtown Kansas City. And while they doing graffiti in downtown, also, they part of a Godzilla clique. People who love Godzilla. And all of a sudden, they get an up close and personal view of Godzilla when the Air Force comes through out of, I think it's Whiteman or Richards Gebauer Air Force Base. And Godzilla let them know what's up. Bust that ass real quick and headed on down to mighty Missouri. And that was the end of that story. Then we move on to the second story, in which, like I told, I'll show y'all a little pic real quick. Like I told y'all, the aliens, I don't know if y'all ever saw my bad, that's Batman. These guys. These are the aliens from Planet X. Okay? And like I told y'all in the review, these are the same aliens that took control of Godzilla, Rodan, and Ghidorah and used them as weapons against the planet Earth. That movie was called Monster Zero. Okay? Because they presented themselves as benevolent, but they really had malevolent intentions. I've always wanted to use the words benevolent and malevolent together. So there you go. I got a chance to do it. Anywho, they are cloaked and invisible and following Godzilla around as Godzilla attempts to create havoc and destruction in Kansas City in this particular story. But what Godzilla does not understand, and the aliens of Planet X later explain to us, Kansas City has certain ley lines in its monuments. You know what I'm saying? Like Bartle Hall, the Bartle Pylons, the Liberty Memorial, City Hall. They're all ley lines. And they emit an energy that is designed to protect Kansas City from kaiju invasion. I really like the imagination of Freddie F. Williams. And Freddie F. Williams is the artist who did this story that is called Tornado Watch, as you will find out why in a couple of seconds. And Buster Moody from the previous story inked this one. Now, the ley lines work like this. Whatever kind of force the kaiju exert against these monuments, the monuments exert back. Now, special monuments such as Arrowhead Stadium and Royal Stadium, make temperature fronts that are hot and cold. And we know when hot fronts and cold fronts violently meet, meteorology fans, they create tornadoes. And this tornado is obviously an F5 because it is strong enough to lift both Godzilla and the alien ship out of Kansas City, only to land in some rural area. And Godzilla manages to land on top of them aliens. Fitting punishment. Now, in story number 3, which is done by Kyle Strahm, it first chronicles a story called Lost in the Sauce. With a name like Lost in the Sauce, and it's about Kansas City, you can kind of tell where this story is getting ready to go. So in Lost in the Sauce, we find out that Godzilla is engaged in battle with, wait for it, sauce monsters. Sauce monsters. What kind of sauce, you might ask? Yeah, barbecue sauce. because it's Kansas City, right? Barbecue sauce. Of course it's barbecue sauce. Why wouldn't it be barbecue sauce? So that's what we're working with. That's what we're dealing with. This story, when an overzealous individual runs up and tries to blow the sauce monsters up, instead of blowing the sauce monsters up, it bleeds into another story, and it makes a giant sauce monster. And this giant sauce monster proceeds to mix it up with Godzilla, a sauce monster. Keep it in mind. Eventually, as we might suspect, when Godzilla is pushed, those dorsal spikes flare up, and that is all she wrote for a sauce monster. And yes, it was a tasty battle. And again, Godzilla just trudges off into the Missouri, and I don't know if anybody lives happily ever after, but people live. What you say, Kamayo? So this is how y'all won them Super Bowls. Adaptive battlefield technology. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think the Super Bowls we won, I don't think any of them ever took place in Kansas City, in Arrowhead. So maybe not. Why can't it just be championship DNA? Why can't it just be championship DNA? Speaking of champions, we are going to dive next into the champion of Bengala. I am, of course, talking about one Kid Walker, aka the Phantom. Issue number 1 and issue number 2. Okay, now this version of the Phantom is the Kid Walker Phantom, because as we know, the Phantom is a legacy character. but not a legacy. Okay? The Phantom, until Phantom 2040 came out, we didn't see too much of other Phantoms throughout the whole 80-something year history of the Phantom. I think it's almost 90. But anyway, understand what we say when we say legacy. You could talk about Phantom 2040 all you want. You could talk about Kit Walker's daddy. You could talk about his sister. They was all Phantoms. But they were not the Phantom. And that's all we be trying to tell y'all when it comes to T'Challa, stuff like that. When you just think, do you want to see a Phantom comic book about the Phantom's sister as the Phantom? Not to throw no shade, but I'm just saying, ain't that exactly what they did with T'Challa? Maybe that's where they got the idea from. While he was because the Phantom is a legacy, so that means it get passed on. The Phantom was just injured. Little Phantom history here. Funny how it parallels. Was the Phantom the inspiration in part for a lot of T'Challa stories? If we dig deep, we might find some parallels, and I will do a contrast and comparison after we review the books and show y'all just how Panthery the Phantom is, or how Phantom-y the Panther is. However you want to look at it. The story opens up, and the Phantom is with the love of his life, Diana Palmer, who he has carried on the legacy with, wink, wink, so to speak. And he's telling her, he's regaling her with tales of dealing with pirates and smugglers and the lot of that sort of thing. And eventually he ends up heading back to Bengala, right? This is the village, or the village that he protects. The Phantom is the designated protector. Well, not designated, but he's the self-proclaimed protector of a specific landmass. Originally in the Phantom strip, the Bengalans were Asian. Then they were pygmies. Then they were Afrocentric. And that is where, at this point, we have settled. Because while the Phantom loves to hang out in Bengala, and the Bengalans love to have Phantom hanging around there, he's got other things that he needs to be doing. Right? Right. Because planes are crashing and he's rescuing people. And the people he rescued are drug smugglers. And the owner of the drugs, Asif Singh. First, let me tell you. The Singh pirates and the Phantoms have always been at war throughout the centuries. When there has always been a Singh to commit evil and villainy and dastardly deeds, there was always a phantom to stand in the way of that thing's progress. Now, this particular thing wants his drugs. And if he don't get his drugs, he gleefully announces to this town, oh, I'm going off the chief and his son if I don't get my drugs, baby. And I'm not playing around. Now, the Phantom gets back in time to see this, but realizes I can't just flat out run in there and start shooting and jumping on mugs. Because number one, people think he is a phantom. And Kit Walker sticks to that motif and uses that natural fear. You know, criminals are a superstitious and cowardly lot. He uses that to his advantage, moving in stealth, moving in shadows, socking mugs in their face before they get a chance to get a good look at him. And on top of that, I got a big old phantom ring and I can leave my phantom print in your face. That's a good motif. I mean, I think the only downside is like purple. You know, it made me think about a pimp named Slickback or Purple Pimpin' Willie. You know what I'm saying? Just something about purple. I mean, you could be purple hued, but or have purple tint or purple highlights, but purple down, boy, you better be kicking lots of butt, lots and lots of butt. Very cool picture of Phantom and his wolf homie, Devil. Yes, Devil. And the Phantom has a horse named Hero. Devil and Hero. And I believe he has a falcon named Faka. Fakka. Faka. Something like that. I could be mispronouncing it, but it's much more fun to mispronounce it. Anyway, rather than do a frontal assault, Kit decides I'm going to use my wits and I'm going to let the environment work with me. He notices when Singh's soldiers come in and take siege, they get comfortable. And when they get comfortable, he sees that comfort. Things like them sitting down and being kind of lax, not being vigilant, lighting up cigarettes, you know, chit-chatting, having that little kind of oh, I see. And then when I see it, I'm going to take advantage of it and do things like throw rocks at people and make them beat each other's ass. Then I throw a big ass rock at them and knock their ass out. Okay, and that continues on and on. Like I said, I'm going to bust you in your head and knock you out before you get a chance to get a good look at me and see I'm a dude with a domino mask and a purple suit on. No, I'm the Phantom. I'm the ghost who walks, and I'm here to kick your ass. And Garan, the Phantom's best friend and son of the chieftain, who's dying, by the way, is negotiating with Asif Singh for the lives of his people. And Asif Singh is basically issuing threats and letting him know, y'all belong to me, so on and so forth. I have power. And Garan lets him know, you ain't the greatest power here. As much ish as you talk and blather and bluster and go on. The Phantom, I say, the Phantom is him around these here parts. And that's just how the story goes. You know what I'm saying? That's just, we gonna see the end of this storyline, I think, with issue 3. And since it seems to be like the beginnings of the Phantom story and like what folks at Mad Cave like to do, shouts out to Ray Fox and Russell Olson, sorry, on the writing and the script. I mean, the scripting and the penciling chores. It looks great, especially on the cover, but on the inside, I feel like the Phantom, his purple is a little too pale. I don't know. I feel like, look, that's a deep purple. It's cover art, but bear with me. Then that's kind of a tinted purple. Both of those work because, believe it or not, in the underbrush, he doesn't look loud in purple. Learn a little something about the light spectrum and how things work, because a tiger can go into the underbrush and practically turn invisible. So don't let weird colors, and he's orange, going into green grass and disappearing, literally disappearing. Light, man, got to understand how light works. And that's why the Phantom, while he's looking a little zesty, is not too far-fetched. Well, we had 36 minutes in. Oh, I'm gonna have plenty of time to talk about some stuff I want to talk about. We want to knock off about an hour. Let's see here. Oh, y'all was talking. Okay. The costume was originally gray. It was changed to purple to make it pop once comics were colorized. Yes, he wanted to call him the Gray Ghost. And the only reason he said he was gray, like you said, was because they were black and white. And he was forced to draw when comics. Yeah, exactly it. You're not wrong, sir. You're not wrong. But at last, we have arrived at the moment that you guys pulled up to this live for. But you're going to get so much more than what you pulled up for. Dig it. Absolute Batman. Okay. Let's talk about it. We've been talking about it since it dropped last week. Okay. Now, we've been talking about, let me get a good one. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this. That's my favorite right there. The high chi power bomb. I'm loving that. And then, of course, we got to talk. Like he doing it with consummate ease, huh? And he didn't stop there, fam. He didn't stop there. He can't. He came through. You know what I'm saying? He came through. Now, here's the thing. This story takes place before Absolute Batman issue 1, or somewhere it's earlier in Absolute Batman's career. So that's the reasoning for that. Okay, you don't just haul off and rah, give somebody a straight left like that just cave their face in, and don't think somebody ain't gonna be busting you across your head in the back. You know what I'm saying? A sneak, sucker punch you. These cats up in Slaughter's Swamp are sucker ducking anyways. So you get shit like that happening. So Batman got caught off guard. It happens. So it's nice to see that even at some point in his career, he wasn't invincible. I thought that was a fair and realistic depiction, and it stays in line with the fair and realistic depiction that we get of Absolute Batman. So what happens next? Well, writer and artist Daniel Warren Johnson decided to give us this flashback of Bruce Wayne talking to his daddy. And he's telling him to go out and make a difference. That's what he tells his kids because he's a teacher. But he wants to know what his kid will do or is willing to do to make a difference in the world. Well, we just perused through a couple of images of Absolute Batman Annual #1. Oh, and before I forget, it was here where he picked up the Batmobile. You need a better name for the Batmobile. Just a thought. It's a damn earth mover and tractor. Bruh, you need a better name. Anyways, ultimately, at the end of this story, important component that I'm leaving out. There is this priest that they call Father Peters. When Batman gets suckered, he keeps him from getting stomped out. And much in the same way, he does the same thing when Batman is on his I'm about to hurt somebody and keeps that cat from getting stomped out. This isn't the way. This is my way. And he's dead ass serious about it too. This is my way. You can do what you want to do, but this right chin, the man right chin, he said, this is my way. And I don't give a what you talking about, priest. And I'm going to go ahead and keep on clapping and chopping and smacking and hurting folks because they wrong. They doing wrong. And what's wrong with punishing people that do wrong? I know a few politicians could use some punishing. But this priest goes on to explain to him about, that you should show a little more mercy and you should be nicer and you should be kinder and all of this type of shit. And he said he remembered the words of his daddy, and his daddy told him, you have to have a strong and compassionate heart. And no matter what you do, I'll always be proud of you. And I feel like that was probably the first time that maybe Absolute Batman felt remorse for his actions. Because how do I interpret that? Batman sitting at the base of the Batmobile, with his head in between his legs. Is he crying? Or is he tired? He getting one of them Batman power naps that we always hear about. I think, and check this out, because I'm a poet, I have to look at things poetically. Batman is in a fetal position. And the reason he's in the fetal position is because after dealing with that situation and having to deal with a man of God, but still be acting off of the maxim of his earthly father telling him, be the best at what you do, and no matter what you do, I will still be proud of you. Somehow his father's words and his actions don't line up. At least that's my take on it. His father's words and his actions aren't lining up, and so now he's kind of reevaluating, so to speak. But if we're being honest, I mean, last couple issues of Absolute Batman, I done looked at, it don't look like nothing changed. It look like he's still hacking and chopping and ripping and beating. Maybe he came to grips and said, some people shovel dookie, some people take axes off of their chest and carve people's arms off. Just what I do. Some people dig ditches. I take a cape and whip it around your neck and throw you across the room. Just what I do. Some people skateboard. I drive around in an earth mover. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Y'all are on fire in the comments. Okay. Bat's got them all in their feelings. Yes, he does. His fist look bigger than his head. His foot look bigger than it. Bruh, when you say you gonna fold somebody, that's what I picture in my head. You gonna fold somebody, that's what you gotta do. You gonna fold somebody, that's what you got. I don't want cave they face in. You know what I'm saying? Understand me? Yeah, hey, that's the fade right there. That's the kind of fade you getting when you F around. These in the building. What's up, my guy? What's going on? Scott Snyder don't play. One of the best bat writers. I like him. Artwork reminds me of Sam Keith on the Max. This particular story, though, was done. Well, there's two stories in here. There's a backup story, and it might be a potential absolute Two-Face. I don't know. Darren Warren Johnson did the art and the story on this annual. There you go. He has mastered raw brutality as an art form. And as far as names for the Batmobile, I will call it the Bat Machine. I will call that thing the Juggernaut. Hey, I was leaning towards the Bat Leviathan. You know what I mean? Or the Bat Buster. Something, man, because that joint is just, it is 100% out of control and bananas. Now, I don't remember who it was, but it's in the comments. I could probably look it up. But it ain't so much that I was concerned about the person who said it as I was what they said. They had asked me in the comments, what did I think of the way Absolute Batman handled supremacists versus the way the Black Panther handled supremacists. And how, I guess it was meant to shine light on the fact that I guess that storyline didn't, or that entire run didn't do much for T'Challa, because they had made mention of the fact that every time you saw T'Challa, his costume was tore up. His costume was ripped up. His costume, I get it. I get it. I get it. But if your costume is ripped up and you got your butt kicked, that's the problem. And it's you getting your butt kicked, not so much the fact that your clothes are torn. Because how many times we seen Wolverine in a fight, a serious fight, and his clothes came off of him? We don't care that his clothes got tore up. We care that he got his ass kicked. That's what we are concerned about. So you can have as many torn habits as you want to for me, T'Challa. If you come out on top, that's cool. And I feel like the conclusion of Panther's Rage was more a symmetrical story, a story coming full circle, rather than the hero beats the villain. Because that same kind of gray we saw in the Black Panther movie, depicted strangely, but it was gray ever so briefly, until, of course, the scene where, in order to kill Claw, Killmonger shoots through his girl. That's a villain. Y'all can trip on that shit how you want to. That's a villain. Okay, so there are a lot of pros and cons, and I got my Mighty Marvel Masterworks Black Panther. I got my Epic Collection Black Panther. And that is all I need to do a contrast and comparison with this book right here. This is what you came for. All right. Now, from the basis of just the comments alone, question. All right. Jungle Action was 1973, 72. That's 53 years. In 53 years, will this book be as popular as that Jungle Action book? Secondly, did I mention that Jungle Action came out in like 1972, 1973? That run was in 1973. We had Republican presidents. Back to back, mind you. That left the country toe up. And I feel like that has some kind of bearing on the Ku Klux Klan story. The Ku Klux Klan had to get their licks in. Otherwise, it would have looked like, I guess what it should have looked like, but isn't part of, I don't know. I have never been the type of person to read a comic book and want my favorite character just dog walking everybody. I want him to have a challenge every now and again to show what he can do or to show what he can still do. I don't want him overcoming everybody with ease. That's no fun to read. That's no fun. That's why in 52 years, we ain't going to be talking about this comic book. Because it is damn near from cover to cover action. You got enough story to move the story along. Other than that, hack, slash, punch, kick, break, repeat is what that book is. And then we managed to and I'm not making light of the story as I talk about it. I'm simply saying it was more succinct and to the point. whereas Panther versus the Klan was spread out over 3 books. And you got to understand something else. The Klan wasn't the only organization involved. Dragon Circle, that was those guys. These dudes that T'Challa's handling so handily. They are members of the Dragon Circle. They have to be members of the Dragon Circle. One of them's black. Couldn't be a Klan member now, could he? On top of that, Batman got sucker punched in that book and needed help. Batman got sucker punched and needed help. T'Challa, on the other hand, got hung on a burning cross. Managed to get his damn self free and trucked a few Klansmen on his way out. Who came out better in that exchange? Yeah, I got burns, but they heal. I ain't get sucker punched though. Okay, took one dude hitting Batman in the head with a wrench. Look what they did to T'Challa, and he was still fighting. You see what I'm saying? So, again, I say, who got the worst of that exchange? One guy knocked Batman out. Shit, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. 9 of them jokers it took to finally, and they, and he still, look at T'Challa's eyes. Look at his eyes. You can tell that's that kind of I'm still, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got me, but I ain't on y'all gonna have to kill me. Y'all gonna have to kill me. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't going out like that. And again, shouts out to the legendary Billy Graham for this artwork, man. He did what he set out to do, to put detail, you know what I'm saying? Them little details like that resistance in the eyes, and you know what I'm saying? The beautiful, and I tell you, this is a picture of T'Challa that has stuck with me to this very day. Just a simple act like swinging from that crane. See what I'm saying? The art, to me, it was so damn beautiful. I thought that was the coolest thing. And it's like, that's a brother. That's a brother doing that. Now, yeah, damn. Okay. Y'all pulled up. Yeah, well, hold on. Let me, The Behemoth. I like that. Hey, D Real. How you doing, Grand Madam? That's how I imagine you saying it when you say it. Hey, D Real. D Steve's on the bill to say he got to reread Panther's Rage. It's been a while. Okay. As much as Bruce and every other hero gets their clothes ripped, T'Challa getting the same treatment is a nothing burger. Exactly. I mean, it's like, and you look throughout the entire Panther's Rage run, I think his outfit was tore up more than it wasn't, but he was out in the cold. He got stuck on thorns. He got thrown in water. He got attacked by dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying? You tend to, not to mention the 9 or 10 super villain henchmen that was trying to kill him along with Killmonger. So, I mean, yeah, yo shit probably be tore too. Theo in the building. Glad you're here, my dog. I'm getting you just in time for the combo. A little bit of struggle required. Ain't that what we want to see? We want to see that. That's what we want to see. Mario say youngsters want everything, all action with no plot. Diesel said, that reminds me, I hate it when Marvel started adding Black Hydra members. Say Don McGregor caught a lot of flack. Yes, he did. He caught a lot of editor flack. And well, what y'all gonna do? Because Don McGregor was over there at Marvel making it pop. You know what I'm saying? Before that, he did, well, not before that, but after that, he did War of the Worlds with Killraven. And during that run, we got the first comic book interracial kiss. Shouts out to my man Don McGregor. You was still invited to the barbecue, dog. I save a plate for you. Another thing, that story ran. Not only we still saw the Dragon Circle in Marvel Premiere after T'Challa's run on Jungle Action ended. So that story didn't just resolve in one issue with you just hacking and slashing. And I think that's more realistic because you can't just hack and slash a problem away. Especially one that involves racists. You ain't just finna hack and slash it away, because just like Hydra, if you get rid of one, 2 more jump up in their place. He said Marvel told him to add more white people to his BP, so he did. There you go. We know they're white. Kamoya, I hear you. I hear you. There are Black Hydra members, but they're coons. They're Uncle Toms. They're Stephen Fetchits. Because if you look back in X-Men and Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 60s, and we see the genesis of what Hydra sprung from, Nazis. I'm not supposed to say that word, am I? But yeah, the N word with a Z in it. So yeah, why would any rational, so there, I answered my own question. No rational Black person would join Hydra knowingly. Yes, that's what they are. You Uncle Tom, and if you join in an organization that was founded by swastikas. but long story short, Batman's handling of his supremacists might have been brutal, but there was no priest falling over the top of the Klansmen trying to protect them when T'Challa put hands on them. I mean, we can do a contrast and comparison all day, but this story is lit because it's absolute Batman. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. You could put Betty Boop in an absolute Batman comic right now and it will land. Absolute Batman can't do no wrong. You know what I mean? So there's that. Whereas, at least as far as I can tell, Jungle Action had an uphill battle. You know what I mean? Because it was new, it was different. I mean, Absolute Batman is new and different, but let's be honest, it's Batman. And every 5 minutes we get Batman. I mean, no shade, but facts is facts. Every 10 minutes we get Batman. So it's like, damn, can I get a Batman break? You know what I mean? So when you see some T'Challa, not saying I want you to bring me T'Challa every 9-10 years, but when you see some T'Challa, it's quality. It's top notch. Panther's Rage, Panther's Prey, Panther's Quest. You know what I'm saying? We need another Panther sounded story. Intergalactic Empire. I mean, they're all prolific. You know what I'm saying? We walk away with something. I feel like the content has got more going on. Now, quick question. This is participatory, gang. This is participatory. I have a visual question, and I need you to look and pay attention. I'm going to say it again. I have a visual question. I need you to look. D. Steezel, Theo, Kamoyo, Grand Madam, Anansi, everybody in here. It's Black Panther Mighty Marvel Masterworks. Look at those covers and tell me what you see. You see comic books featuring stories that feature the Black Panther. Those are stories from 1, 2, 3, 4 different comic books. I might add 4 different popular comic books at the time. 4 comic books that was on fire at the time. I believe that is 1960, between 66 and 69-ish, sort of, is where we get all of these stories featuring the Black Panther. So, I say all of that to say this. Marvel thinks the best place to put T'Challa, the Black Panther, is in a featuring category and also starring category. Now, flash forward some 50, damn near 60 years later. 60. What's T'Challa doing right now? Featuring in other people's comics? Miles Morales? Wolverine? Avengers? Okay. Dear Marvel, first, you've got to believe that T'Challa is a viable character for a monthly magazine that will last longer than 15 issues. Between myself and Theo, there's been enough content explaining that. The hows, the whats, what kind of stories you could use, where you could go with those stories. Bruh. Honestly, he's on the throne again. Okay. Now, can we leave the throne alone for a little while and let T'Challa go out and fuck with some other stuff and do some other things and make some other landmark things happen? Like, he already got an intergalactic empire. Where can we go from there? Ain't that what the man said in Imperial? He looked out at the stars. We can go wherever we want to go. That's literal and figurative. Mr. Hickman, you can go anywhere you want to go with T'Challa. You don't have to take us to no throne issues or people being mad because T'Challa didn't marry a woman from Wakanda or T'Challa ain't got a girlfriend that's from Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? We still tripping on that shit. If he pull up with Aurora, will Wakanda welcome him back and her back with open arms? Or are we going to have to go through that same old story of somebody giving Aurora side eye? You left us at a time when we needed you most, Wind Rider. You know what I'm saying? Are we going to get some stuff like that? I mean, that might make for an interesting story, but I don't necessarily want that to be the lead off. You feel me? Just tell some stories about T'Challa in his own book. If you want to put Iron Man in there and they put their heads together for one issue and do some stuff, fine. If you want to put the Fantastic Four in there for one issue and him and Reed put their heads together, fine. Okay, but make sure you put Adam Brashear in there and they put their heads together, or maybe we have one issue where the Ultimates get together again and do some thinging. Let me see some stories about that character. Just like with Daredevil, I don't want every damn thing to revolve around the Kingpin or Bullseye. Give me something else Daredevil related that ain't Kingpin or Bullseye. You know what I mean? I like for him to have. That's nice that he got an arch nemesis. That's nice that he got somebody that he can fall back on as, oh, it's my old foe Poindexter again. You know what I mean? I get that, but damn, when you going to introduce some new folks? I mean, the Muse was refreshing when he came out. Oh, somebody new. Okay, all right. You know what I mean? Can we get a decent version of Typhoid Mary live action? I'll be here for that. You know what I'm saying? That you're leaving meat on the bone. You know what I'm saying? And much in the same way, there are so many things we can explore with T'Challa. Check this out. Maybe Batumba ain't dead. Let's make Batumba a foe of the Black Panther again. You left me to die in an explosion, T'Challa. And because of that, I realized I had a teleportation device on me. Advanced idea mechanics, right? Why wouldn't they have a teleportation device on them? The leader, anyway, so I can escape in case of trouble. Batumba, T'Challa's childhood homie, that he had to tell him, hey, dog, I can't play kid games no more. My daddy dead. I got to go do this Black Panther chieftain thing. Just saying, there's all kinds of stories that could be delved into, dived into, but nobody, you know what I'm saying? Can I see Mr. Little again? Can I see Abner Little again? Is Mr. Little dead? I don't know. But let's explore that. The Black Musketeers. A lot of meat on that bone. Man, I could make a 200 issue Black Panther run and you wouldn't get tired of it. Everything be fresh. It's a character you don't get to use. Not to mention, everybody's an enemy of Dr. Doom. Sprinkle them on in there. Now you got this intergalactic stuff. I love to see him do some things with Clerk, the Super Skrull. Let's see how shadow physics do against the combined power of the Fantastic Four. Wink, wink. A lot of meat on that bone. A lot of meat on that bone. It ain't that T'Challa ain't a good character. Some of y'all ain't trying. Brian Hill, I see you trying. Shirley Eaton, I saw you doing your thing. Eve Ewing, hey Eve, how you doing? I saw you doing your thing too. It's people putting it down that if you're not gonna do a Black Panther story, back your punk ass up out the way and let somebody do it. You know what I'm saying? It's vexing to say the same stuff over and over again, man. And everybody just looking at you like you got doo-doo on you. You know what I'm saying? So earlier in the live, before some of y'all pulled up, I was talking about crossovers. And what exactly is a crossover? Okay. I'm going to talk about two types of crossovers. Okay. There is the intercompany crossover. The intercompany crossover is either when two characters or two teams or just two entities from two separate companies get together and do a book or a series of books. Case in point. Batman and Captain America is a crossover through the Elseworlds label. I love Elseworlds. Elseworlds needs an animated series. James Gunn. Elseworlds needs an animated series. I know y'all got animated movies based on Elseworlds, but you need to dedicate to the series. Also, John Byrne, as he always does most of the time, if not all the time, wrote it and drew it. I like the part where the Joker and the Red Skull team up and the Joker finally realizes, hey, you're an N word with the Z in it. Now, I may be a homicidal maniac, but I'm an American homicidal maniac. I was like, all right, Joker. All right, Joker, you cool with me, dog. And since we on the kick, Batman and Spawn, which they recently redid. I don't know why. Doug Minch, Chuck Dixon, some of the best in the business you want to go to if you want a Batman story. I didn't like the fact that Batman was able to hang physically with Spawn when they were in the misunderstanding phase. And then there was a Batman and Spawn, which was done by DC. Then there was a Spawn and Batman done by Image Comics. Todd McFarlane and Frank Miller. Wait. Todd McFarlane and Frank Miller did a book together? Yes. Yes, they did. And it was actually, in my opinion, better than the Doug Minch and Chuck Dixon book. You don't believe me? Go pick them hoes up and check them out yourself. Okay. I'm almost done. But not quite. Lots of character intercompany crossover too. Pop quiz. What was the first intercompany character comic crossover? That's an easy one. I shouldn't even give that to you. That's an easy one. But you should know. All right. Now, a little known crossover that people don't do a whole lot of talking about. What you know about that? 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 Team X and Team 7. Well, for those of you, I'll bet you. Who's Team 7? Or should I say, what two adventurers hail from Team 7 in the Image universe? Actually 3, but I'll only charge you for 2. You ready? You ready? Does the name Michael Cray ring any bells? No? How's about Cole Cash? Y'all should really know about that one. I'll give you a hint. He was in the Justice League Flash Paradox animated movie. My man, my man, Cole Cash. But we don't know nothing about Michael Cray. We don't know who Michael Cray is. And last but not least, Philip Chang. What y'all know about Philip Chang? Nothing? Okay. There was a comic book back in the 90s. Oh, there we go. My man, Wildcat. I like Wildcats too. Did you know that there's a new Youngblood too? Image just dropped in there. They got a new Youngblood run. And I'm kind of thinking about picking it up because I want to see what's going on with my guy Bad Rock. And Spartan. No, Spartan's Wildcats. Oh my God, what's the superhero name? Blood. Come on, help me out. Blood. What's his name? Not the one from Valiant. Is it Bloodlust? Is his name Bloodlust or Bloodline? Full face mask. Death Blow. There you go. Death Blow. You're right. Death Blow. That is who Michael Cray becomes. Oh, and Philip Chang goes on to be in Wetworks. Oh, how many people was checking out Wetworks back in the day? Will Spartasio? Bloodstrike, him too. Y'all see my image people in here. See, I got to get back on my image because I've been spending too much time with them other companies. And image is still actually cranking out some quality stuff. Last but not least, I want to make a recommendation. Can I make a recommendation? Something I want you to go dig up. Something I want you to dig up if you can find it. Something I want you to find if you can dig it up. Something if you can just pull it off of DC comic site. Grail. That was Grail. Yes. Very good. I love my Rock With Me Nation people. Entertainment's rubbing off. Y'all do y'all own damn thing. 2 recommendations. First recommendation, Green Lantern, Dragon Lord. Doug Minch usually writes Batman. This is a good story. It's a 1 to 3-parter. And just as you can see, a Kung Fu priest has found the lantern und the ring. And 5 Deadly Venoms meets Green Lantern is basically what you get out of that book. Nice run. Very, very nice run. This is a good read. I recommend it. And the other read is a walk down memory lane. Check it out. Remember Time and Time Again? Not the movie, the comic book series. Time and Time Again. For those of you that are unfamiliar and was not reading comics in the 90s, Time and Time Again was a storyline that ran through the New Warriors family of comics. That's crazy to say right now in 2025, since there is no longer any such animal as a New Warriors line of comics. But anyway, for your pleasure, the Sphinx, the female Sphinx, displaced folks in time, it's a whole problem. All started right there. New Warriors number 47. Then the story continued. I'll take them out as it. Night Thrasher, issue number 11, I think it was. Yeah, issue number 11. Right there. Can you guess where Dwayne got shunted off to in time? Part 3. Nova meets Nova. I liked that one in particular. Part 4. Vance meets Vance. Part 5. Tired of these crackers. Part 6. I killed myself and I hated it. Part 7. New Warriors B Team. Hey, Theo, they need a male and a female turbo, torpedo, whatever you calling yourself, girl. And, of course, the finale in New Warriors number 50. This, by the way, is a glow-in-the-dark cover. Charge it up. Charge it to the light. 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 We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, y'all. We're gonna do it. And that's what and that's how we're gonna end. We're gonna end on a glow-in-the-dark cover. That's what we're gonna do. I think that's what I want to do. Maybe I need to take it out of there because it's got that feeling. I got a feeling. Okay. I'm so excited to do this. I'm so excited to do this. This is so exciting. Okay. I think that's enough light. Hang on. Ha! All right. Let's do this because we always knew this. That didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. I can see it glowing. But y'all can't. Oh well. I tried. But hey, time and time again, pick that up if you can. Because I bet new warriors are going for pretty cheap these days. All righty. And that's how I collect comics. I don't necessarily collect 5,000 issues of Captain America, but I get runs. You know what I mean? I'll get a run of a book, not necessarily that book in its entirety. Because I got the first 100 issues of Spawn, but there's issues in between 100 and 300 or something that is just like, I don't really need that. I glaze over it. I check it out, see what's going on with it. So, like that there. These things are sad. X Factor put me on the Will Sportacio. You, sir, are a connoisseur of comics like myself. Interesting concept. Nice. Thank you. Now, see, there was also a time and time again story in the Superman books in the 90s. They can't get enough of stealing shit from each other. Now, see, they got to. Say, Dwayne. You say you dig that folder. Hey, D, I got another folder with the Blood and Thunder run in it. That's how I do. Maybe next week we'll go over that. Next week we go over the Blood and Thunder run. How about that? Only had trading card folders. Got those too. Maybe I will dig those up. Maybe I will. If we get them, we'll know where they heard it from. And that is a great place to end. But hey, guess what, y'all? I will be back tomorrow evening. I got a Thursday live too. And Friday, I got a live with my homie Theo. Little brother Theo. Me and Theo gonna be turning up Friday. But we're gonna be vibing too. So y'all know how it is. Y'all stop in, say what's up, bring what you drink, bring what you smoke. We're gonna do our thing. Look here, gang. What was I gonna say? See, I consume too much cannabis. Oh yeah. Thursday, tomorrow live. Y'all make sure y'all pull up for that. Same real time, same real channel. Friday, make sure y'all pull up for that. And Theo promises he won't crash out. Well, we've heard that before. Oh, okay. I will try my best to make sure he don't crash out. We will help him. We will all help you not crash out, brother. Because we love you like that. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I'll be coming at you tomorrow with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good to each other. Your boy Sideways.